Buhl City Council meeting of Tuesday, June 18th, 2019 to order. Ryan, would you please take the roll?
Councilor Lehman.
Here.
Councilor Marcus.
Here.
Councilor Milich.
Here.
Mayor Klarich.
Here. We'll move on to 3 reports from department heads. A, Public Works. Trent, you're up.
Just letting you know that well, we've been taking care of the beach here for the last couple of weeks with the kids, but we haven't had the beach house open because the plumbing, there's some problems with the plumbing. We fixed that today, so it'll be open. The beach house will be open tomorrow, and then we're just gonna leave it open until it becomes a problem. Essentially, the kids will be taking care of it still for us in the morning. And then there was an accident behind the hideaway, struck a pole, and Minnesota Power will be working on it tonight. There'll be an outage short down. There's been flyers posted. I'm sure you guys are aware of it and everything. But there'll be an outage from midnight to about 3-4 o'clock tomorrow morning. I doubt anyone sees this by that time, but if you come across anyone tonight, just let them know if they don't know. Not all of town's gonna be out. A good chunk of the north side should be still on, and about 2/3 of Damien Addition will still be on. But the rest of the southern part of the town will be off.
Okay, any questions for Trent?
How are the kids working out so far?
So far, good. They forget stuff, but that's kind of normal, so they'll get it. We had one of them backed out, so we're just doing all 3 of them on at the same time all week long for the rest of the summer.
Well, that'll work for you, right?
That works out just fine for us.
You're gonna leave the beach house open all weekend too?
Yeah, well, think if we were to, on the weekends, we can close on the weekend. You guys want us to close on the weekend, we can definitely close on the weekend. There is a porta potty out there, so.
We left it open last year on the weekend. It didn't seem to be too big of a problem, I didn't think. I mean, it was pretty clean, so I think just on a trial basis, just so people can use it in the changing rooms and the bathrooms, you know.
And if they abuse it, they'll lose it, so.
Well, we have an on-call person who can just at least drive through there to make sure
Yep.
things are perfect.
I'll get checked on.
Okay. Do we provide any lifeguard or anything like that? No. Okay, so it's an honor system basically that.
What's this guy?
The buoys are in now as well, too.
Oh, campground. Who's checking on the campground?
We do.
You or?
Well, just whoever gets a chance to look through it, yeah.
Yeah, I usually check the box in the morning and...
I know, before we had like one person that checked on it. Supposed to be checking on it, but...
Yeah, and when we get an opportunity to go in there, but sometimes it's hard because it surprisingly is full in there quite often, so we can clean out the garbages and everything for them, but as far as like lawn maintenance and everything, it's kind of hard because you got everyone's there, so it's really hard to mow until it's kind of cleared out, which it's getting a little long in some places, but like I said, it's really hard to mow it until people are out of there.
What's the total number of campsites?
8.
8? And it's usually full? That's pretty good.
It's actually been really pretty busy.
The weather hasn't been
Are
that
they
great.
$10 or $7?
Yeah, it was
okay.
full the other day.
A lot of times they use it but don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of wondering about was.
Yeah, we keep an eye on it.
Anything else for Trent? If not, thank you. Okay, Public Works Part B, Fire and Ambulance. Stuart, do you have anything to update us on?
No.
Okay. Engineering, Ryan, anything? we should know about?
I can touch
Okay.
on that. Like,
The attorney, Mr. Carney.
Just was on the agenda, Mayor.
Okay, then we'll get to that when we get there. Long-range planning and zoning still haven't met, right? Or they met the one time, but.
One time we'll need next month?
yeah, I mean, July, second week in July.
Okay, so we'll have a report after that one. Recreation Board,
We haven't met either.
okay. Library Board, we have nothing from them. BETA, there's a meeting next week, I believe.
Yep, next Tuesday.
Sheriff report, did you get a report, Ryan, and post it? No?
I didn't get a
Okay.
report.
Clerk, you're up, Ryan.
I guess just touching on a couple of the other ones here, the library board did hire a new library tech. I believe her name was Carrie Obastar. She's a former teacher. So we're waiting on, obviously, background check information to come back from her. That is, just so the council's aware, that is a library board decision. I don't know if they plan on coming and addressing you or not, but that's just what's going on there. Beta, I did meet with a gentleman last week who, he has a business kind of a little bit outside of Bemidji that he's looking to relocate it in this area because he has a lot of contracts, I believe, kind of maintaining the tailings basins with the mines. So he took a look at a couple lots in the South Industrial Park, and I know he's working with Wayne Kangas over in Hibbing to develop a business plan. So hopefully some more information comes our way on that. I think he has, roughly 15 to 20 employees. So that's kind of what they're looking at too. As far as engineering and the USDA state funding, Engineer Jamnik and I had a conference call with our USDA rep on some members of PFA. And what we're waiting on, PFA's moving some money around so they can fund more projects, so to speak. So we should have a more concrete answer on that by June 30th is the date they told me. Also, the bonding apps were submitted for both the school plus our infrastructure project. I believe it was 7.1 million for the school and 3.1 million for water and sewer that we asked for. And then just as far as the school, I'm getting a few people interested trying to set up showings. It's really not a lot of information to go on at this point, so basically if they want to see the building, I'll open it up to them, but until they get us a business plan or something like that, I don't know how much it's worth talking about. So just an update on that if you see us up there at all.
And then you and I and John met with a potential client and with our lobbyist, Gary Sikrenik, the other day. So, we're actively pursuing as best we can for the public, so.
That's all.
That's it, okay. CRR SSD doesn't meet for a while yet, so, and we report on that the last time. John and I are both on that committee, so that ends the reports from the department heads. Okay, council additions to the agenda. We have nothing to add to the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Stuart.
I'll support that.
Support by John. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We have an agenda. Number 5, Citizens Forum. Persons wishing to address the council must sign up to be recognized. Rick, did you sign up or did you just grab? Okay, you didn't? Okay. So, no one will be speaking. We'll move on to number 6, the consent agenda. 6A is the minutes, the regular city council meeting of June 4th, 2019. Then 6B, claims. Payroll number 12, $11,177.13. Payroll number 12.01, $39.44. Accounts payable, $86,704.55 for a total of $97,921.12. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda for June 4th and claims of $97,921.12.
Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried for those 2 items. We'll now move on to the business part, and the first thing is a release for 312 Mueller Avenue, and that's discussion. And before we move on that, I would like Attorney Carney to just briefly address the council and the public on that topic.
Yes, there was a closing that was going to happen on a piece of real estate in the city of Buhl, and came to Clerk Pervenance's attention and then to mine that back in 2003, there was a deed from the city of Buhl to Christopher Premiu and Jana Premiu, if I said it right. And as part of that conveyance, it said the purchaser shall construct a single-family home within 1 year, or the property shall revert to the grantor, which would be the city of Buhl. My understanding that there was a home built, and a sale was pending, and this was what we call kind of a cloud on the title, meaning that they wanted this condition removed. So as a result, I was in contact with the realtor and indicated that we would do a release. And basically the release releases that reversionary interest because they complied with the condition. So we're asking that the council approve the release, and then the mayor and the clerk would sign it, and then I'd get it to the realty company, and then they would record it. So when you do the title search, they see that there's a reversionary interest, but then after it shows that it was released. So I urge you to act on that and approve the release.
Just a standard.
Yes.
Okay.
Also move on.
Okay, there's a motion by Stuart. Is there support?
I'll support that.
Supported by John. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. 7B, the July 2nd council meeting discussion. In the past, it sounds like when there hasn't been a lot of business around the 4th of July holiday, that we did not hold a city council meeting. And there's a motion to that effect right now, as we do not have a lot of business coming due in the next couple of weeks. And so the motion is to not have a meeting on July 2nd.
I'll make a motion that we cancel the first meeting and proceed with the second meeting.
Is there support?
I'll support.
Okay, supported by Stuart. Further comment or discussion? Once again, seems like something we do every year.
Can we just make sure in the motion that...
We'll do a separate motion since that's already...
Okay.
Did you already pass that motion?
No.
Yeah, they haven't voted on it.
We can amend it.
Well, if you want to amend it, I'll let clerk take over.
Okay. No, if you want to amend it just to authorize City Hall to pay our regular bills as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Stuart, is that okay? Okay.
All right, now we're good.
That's why we have you here. Okay. With that amendment, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We're going to move on to C, recycling garbage services, but we wish to table that until the second meeting in July. We're waiting some further information from one of the companies. So is there a motion to table the recycling and garbage services?
I'll make a motion to table this.
Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim.
Our contract's not up till the end of the year.
And no, we have time to play, but the
Right.
thing is, we should table this and
Yeah,
we'll take
yeah.
action then when we get all the information in. So, further comment or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Am I the only one? Motion carried. Okay, we'll flip the page. We're on the home stretch. 7D, recycling bin location. I'd like to have discussion first. And we've talked about this informally about moving it. John, I think you were going to take the lead on this a little bit, as you have a little history about where this was before, and we're talking about maybe moving it back to that place.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be much of a conflict. Actually, when the bins first came into Buhl, we had it behind the school garage. That's where they were until Kids Peace came in, and then they just asked us to move them from there because they were utilizing the school. Right now we're looking at doing some different things come January of 2020. So what we could do is just place a sign down where the bins are now and have the bins moved up behind the garage after Trent kind of landscapes a little bit up there. There's lighting up there. We can put a camera up there if need to be. It's the original location, and it's out of everybody's sight. It's behind a wall and a fence facing east towards the football field or the baseball fields. It's That was the original location, and I think we should go back to that until January 1 when we do something different.
I've listened to the concerns of the people where we have the recycling now. It is an inconvenience. And it's not an inconvenience during regular working hours. It can be at night, it can be early in the morning. We do have families there. There's also, when they come to dump everything, you know, you do have children that are riding bikes down there, playing down in that area. So this would be up, out of the way. And we may need to find, well, after January, we're gonna probably have curbside recycling. We're getting bids on that now. That's why we tabled the previous agenda items. So I'm in support of this. I think it's a solution that would help some of the residents of Buhl. And I don't see that it bothers anybody at this point. And then for the summer, I would just request that our summer workers would check that a couple times a day, just make sure it's clean. On the weekend, when we have our weekend people on call, they can just double check to make sure nothing's too dirty up there. And then once the summer's over and our summer workers are gone, then our city employees will do that. So hopefully we'll be at full strength with 3 people.
We just need a sign down where it's at after we, you know, make the move, and just tell people that it's where it's at.
And then we'll contact General Waste to move those, correct?
Well, they move them so they know they're gonna be up there.
No, I know, but we have to inform General Waste we want to move that, so we're gonna take action to.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And then they'll move that and we'll put the sign up right after that.
So we still have to give Trent a little time to dress it up there a little bit, because there was some dirt piles right behind the garage. Actually, you can move them out a little bit, doesn't matter, but he'll clean it up.
What's easiest?
Yeah.
So further discussion. I mean, that's a good background of what it was, why it was there.
The only worries that I have is that you come over the hill looking towards the school, you're gonna see that. And then,
Not really.
Well, you might see a portion.
There's a block wall that goes out 30 feet, 40 feet, and there's an indention there, and there's a wall from the north side that blocks that whole area.
and then the other part of it, then we headed behind or up on the hill there, the garbage that got strung and blowing around and stuff. That's, my only worry is that it's gonna get blown across the parking lot and be an eyesore for the people.
Well, no,
But-
actually where it's at right now is actually pretty clean.
It's something we have to keep an eye on. We do have city employees 7 days a week, so to try to keep that under control. And we can all, like Johnny said, we can also add a camera there if we have violators that are dumping other things that don't belong there. So we can cover that.
For a citizen's complaint about it, I'd like to see it get away from him though, so.
Well, let's see what happens. Well, we don't have a motion yet, so. But I would entertain a motion to move those recycling bins.
I'll make a motion that we move the bins up behind the school garage.
And I'll take the heat off. I will support that. As I've been in the middle of this, and I think it's I really think this is a win-win situation for some of our citizens, and then the citizens up there. I do not see them being inconvenienced at this point, but we'll monitor it. That's all we can do. And then Trent, you'll keep us on top of that. You know, that's one thing I can do. It's nothing to drive by there and just swing in and swing out, so. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, the access antenna. And we were having problems with that. Ryan, do you just want to update us once again so the public can hear this too?
Sure.
And then you have a recommendation to us, so.
Yep. Sure. Right now, Access Broadband has one of their internet antennas on top of our water tower, which they also use our power down in the pump house, I believe. The problems we've been having are just the poor service that the city is getting between here and also the fire hall, which Meds 1 occupies and needs solid internet service, plus the phones up at City Hall are controlled by the internet. Both Diane and I have called them numerous times to have problems fixed, but it's almost a daily occurrence where our phones are down and the internet's down, and they've continued not to make any improvements to the service. So my recommendation is, I looked at a few quotes from like CenturyLink, MediaCom, and kind of what it would cost for us to put internet in the locations that we have it, down at the city garage, city hall, obviously, the senior center, and the fire hall, and that's how I came up with the $3,600 per year that, you know, basically we'd have to set up a lease agreement or rental agreement with broadband, you know, just to cover our costs with that.
And we'd have Attorney Carney drop that agreement for us then?
Yeah, I'd have discussions with the
Okay, so
attorney on
we'll
how,
have to work
what the
out-
best practice would be
Right.
too.
Now, is there any agreement in place with Access Broadband?
No, there's no agreement in place, and basically what the, you know, a handshake agreement whenever this was set up was they could locate their equipment on our water tower in exchange for the free internet service to the city buildings. But now it's becoming harder and harder to operate with low quality internet.
Did they indicate why the service is poor, or?
They haven't. They said they've made updates and they were up there for 5-6 hours, and the next day it was still going in and out. Like I said, I mentioned in my memo, this has been going on for 3 to 5 months. I mean, and we've called them and called them and called them again, but we're still having the same problems.
I think that that's only valid, that we hold their feet to the fire on this, and it's a service that the city needs. Meds 1 needs it, the city garage, the city hall,
Yep,
senior citizen center.
And I know, just speaking of Meds 1, they've contacted me, their employees, or Jim, a number of times,
Okay.
you know, asking, is there anything we can do? So,
Well, I think that's, I feel that that's fair. Is there a motion to authorize the clerk to start the process of setting up an agreement with our attorney and charging Access Broadband for the use of the water tower?
I'll make a motion that we do that.
Okay, is there support?
I'll support.
Support, moved by John, support by Stuart. Further comment or question?
Is there a different provider we could get?
basically MediaCom or CenturyLink. would
But
be
we'd
the-
have to pay for that service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that,
This
and
way,
that,
they're using our water tower, I think it's an exchange of services now, they're not living up to the agreement. I think it's time that
yeah,
we
and
hold their feet to the fire.
Yep, and that's just kind of how I came up with that $3,600. Obviously, we don't want to, put, too much stress on a local business. That's not our goal, but we still want to recover the costs for, what we would pay for a better quality internet.
Okay.
Well, how much longer can you keep going without the service or the poor service? Because
It's beginning more, especially if it gets windy or a storm comes, it's in and out. It's kind of a detriment to the public too if they try calling us and our phones are out too.
We have to, through the agreement with the attorney, we'll make it very clear that we need this, otherwise we have to look at alternative service. Simple as that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Further comment or question? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those
Aye.
opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. The haul truck route, and that's what we're talking about, is moving that or requesting that go to the Wanless up here rather than Forest and Culver, I believe. So,
Right.
John, you were the one that wanted this on the agenda. Do you want to stake out what you're trying to accomplish here?
Well, I think just what's, that we have stated here is the noise, the safety, the loose material. We're talking about the haul trucks. We're not talking about a truck that has to come in and do its business. We're talking about the haul trucks, and I think the haul truck should turn at the water tank, go the 2 blocks in front of the school, and then have signs at these locations, haul trucks turn here, go to shortstop and go to the Virginia exit and go out of town.
And the same thing
Same
when
thing
they're
when they come
entering.
back into town. actually that street in front of the school, except for that little piece by the water tank, is wider. Even the turn by the old shortstop on the corner, the power pole was there at one time, right on the corner. Well, we widened that street basically just for the turning of these trucks. So it's a turn lane right by the little baseball field. I mean, we purposely did that when we designed that street. So the trucks would come into town from Virginia, turn and go north and go out of town.
You're talking the Pennsylvania Wanless corner?
Yeah, yeah.
How long do these trucks haul?
Well, in years past, they hauled all summer for 3-4 years.
I don't know if they'll be hauling anymore.
Well,
Just one.
That's fine. Well, let's just make a motion that we put haul trucks turn there and turn over there and
Just put a truck.
just for future.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and I'm not against this, but I just wanna throw this up too. Now, if I understand this correctly, this is a designated county road that they maintain?
No, they don't.
They don't?
We plow it, we sand it, we sweep it.
Oh, really? I thought
They don't come through
they
town
don't do
with it.
anything?
He stops at the hockey rink, and they do a little bit on the other end by the Virginia exit, and that's
Okay,
it.
But that's it, okay.
They do not this is our road. They don't maintain it, we do.
Whose
Okay,
road is it
changes.
legally, if I may ask that question?
County road.
So do we have the right to prohibit them from using a county road to haul?
I would say no.
That's-
I would say no. It's more.
We can request
You
and
can-
work with the county to
Right.
try, and that's what I think you're trying to do here, John?
Well, we can do that, but,
I mean, who, is it one employer or is it, I mean, who's in charge of the trucks? Could a request?
yeah, it's a employer that's doing the hauling every year.
Yeah, can you make a request and say we do the citizen, the concerns that you have, could you use this route rather than that route?
Well,
Basically.
the other route is, we could run our sweeper up and down the street and send them a bill for sweeping our streets because tailings and mill feed are laid on our 2 streets.
Yeah.
So, to me, do what they should be doing anyhow.
But my question is, anybody asked them to do it yet?
Well, no.
When they first started, they were using that street by the school.
Yep.
We had some complaints from citizens that live on the street. So then we told that business contractor that they had to use the county street roads. So they weren't going that way.
So we turned the trucks on 12 streets, or 12 blocks, and took them off of running through town on 2 blocks, so we ran them through on 12 blocks.
So this is gonna be the problem. Now that we moved them from that street and fixed the complaint, we're gonna go back to complaints.
I think you're gonna get complaints no matter where the trucks
We've
are.
had complaints.
So
So we wanna look at what's the shortest route they're affecting the city of Buhl. That's definitely the Wanless.
Wanless Street.
It's the Wanless Street. And no matter what, there's residential, these trucks are gonna be going by residential areas, irregardless if it's up by the school on Wanless or if it's on the Forest Culver exchange. This one goes right through the middle of town, that's on an edge of town. I mean, there's pros and cons both ways to this. I just don't think we can prohibit those trucks for going on county road.
we can't.
And so, I mean,
Well, I
we've
can
gotta ask for
find
some
that out
compliance.
because I kind of talked to some people at work at the county, and they said it's your street.
Well, I'd like something written from the county saying that.
Because,
So Attorney,
well, I can get that.
so Attorney Carney, is that something we should maybe drop legally to try to send to them, that we prefer that?
Well, I think if you
Or
just
try to
directed the
negotiate
clerk,
it?
well, it directed the clerk, I mean, at some point before they cooperated to move up one street to the other street, and now it's more complaints or more problem. Can you go back the way you were?
I could make a phone call to get that, them so they use that road. Just that's gotta be okay.
And then maybe a formal letter from the city, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
Hearing
yeah.
attorney,
And
to move that
if
way.
Counselor
Brian?
Lehman want to be a part of that, or, just put it in the motion that.
Is it one trucking company that does all this work for
They're
the?
in control of, there's like 5 or 6
Yeah, I see different
trucks.
companies,
Yeah,
But there's, KGB is the only,
KGM.
KGM is the one that,
Okay.
KGM's the one that's moving the material from.
yeah.
Okay,
Where they were getting it.
They're subcontracting to these other trucking companies.
so our letter should go to KGM as well as the county?
Well, I would just do it to KGM.
KGM no longer has a contract, it's a different company, it's gonna
Is
be
it?
taking over the contract.
So we'll have to find out then,
So-
okay.
Find that out.
But the main thing is we have to start with the county first,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a double, take on that, Stuart, you said you were gonna look into that a little bit?
I can,
Have them go through Kinney.
they don't, it's,
Well, they have to turn out of Rudenfrager and go right up the hill.
Perfect.
Kenny would be up in arms too, I'm sure.
Just one additional note, if that's the direction we're going down Wanless, because I just think the city should probably contact whichever school district, because they do have a bus stop right on that kind of, not on the corner, but where it, where the street turns wider, so it's kind of trucks coming around those corners with those kids.
Well, they have bus stops.
Well, I know,
Yeah.
but it's
They
just,
have about 6 on the other side.
but it's more of a blind coming around that corner, and all of a sudden there's.
Where's this, Ryan?
Right up by the school. They're right on kind of the north
shortstop.
side
When
of.
you turn,
No, even further down, closer to Culver. Like right on that corner where.
Location
Oh.
road.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
I'm just throwing it out there that we should.
well, the
contact
trucks
them.
driving there have to follow the speed limit, and they have to be diligent in their driving.
Yeah.
And it's a big yellow school bus usually, or a red van, I mean, I'm speaking for MIB, school district vans, I don't know of too many vans from the other districts. We have 7 buses that come through this town, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I know when the school bus comes, you cannot fit a school bus and a car in that area where the school
Well,
bus
it's the
stops.
same on Culver.
No, I know, I'm
Same
just-
on Forest.
The big trucks have to do their due diligence and safe driving. Very, any stop they're making, the red lights are flashing, so. They're pretty visible.
It's not very good business practice if you're in a big truck and you hit some other vehicle or person, I'm sure.
Yeah, so, okay. So I guess what I'm hearing right now is that we'll start the exploration of this and try to get an agreement with the county.
Well, we're still a county, yeah. But
Yeah, fill the county in and then direct the clerk and Counselor Lehman to find out who the current owner is and send a letter, see if that's what the council wants to do, send a letter that you'd like them to go back to the other route.
Well, we'll have to make that motion here first, but
Right,
I can support that, so. John, are you making a motion to that effect?
yeah, I'll make the motion that we let Stewart contact the people and tell them that we want to reroute it for safety concerns.
But then follow up with a letter from,
Yeah.
official letter from the city on our actions too, so we've got a two-pronged attack towards this.
and this is gonna be effective immediately, or?
Well, as soon as we
can come up with
all the
something.
I's and T's are crossed.
Yeah, because the hauling for the season's gonna come to a halt here fairly
Well,
soon.
no, they were hauling October,
Really? Okay, well,
November.
then we have to make that
different years.
arrangement.
Well, we'll see if they're gonna cooperate or not, and if they're
Well,
not
that's the next-
cooperating, then it would come back before the council.
Okay, then we'll go a different route. Is there a second to that motion?
Also,
Okay. I'm glad the county played it. Okay, it's been moved and seconded by John and by Stuart to have Stuart and the city approach the county about rerouting the trucking in the city of Buhl. Is that correct?
Right.
Is that what you want?
it's not really a county. I'll contact,
No, but we're gonna contact the county. We have to start with, the
and
top.
I'll contact,
Yeah, so like I said, two-pronged attack. Perfect. Okay.
and this is gonna be effective now?
Well, as
As soon as we can come to an agreement.
Yeah.
Well, if they're willing to do it, like I'm sure the last time they said, okay, we'll go that route if you want us to go. And if they're willing to do it, say sooner than later, if that's what the council wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can make a phone call and
Further.
Should we have signage?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
haul trucks there and
truck road sign.
Okay.
we need
Keep
2
finding
over by the
work for you,
shortstop and 1 over by the tank.
Okay.
We should go into the sign making business, Trent.
Haul truck route.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Just use the Goni.
Okay, is there further, comment or discussion on this topic? If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Other business councilor comments. Stuart, I'll start with you.
I have nothing.
John?
Well, we're having complaints of just what Fred was talking about is people dumping everything and anything down in our brush piles or where they want to go. I think we should get some signs with no dumping garbage or whatever with the penalty on there. I mean, if you get caught, it's $500, whatever.
Well, we can't set that. There must be
Well,
a
it's a state-
standardized fine, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know if there's a city ordinance or.
I looked, there wasn't anything that really addressed that specifically, so at the next meeting, maybe
You'd have a city
I know what a
ordinance
standard
passed.
Yeah.
fine would be.
Well, whatever the council
I
determined.
mean, we got citizens down at the brush pile saying you can't do that, and, they just swore at them and got mad.
The whole thing is you have to either catch them, well, now every camera or every phone is a camera, and if that person is willing to come forward, a lot of times they are willing to tell you who and the problem, but then you say, well, we have to go to court, are you willing to come? And then it's usually no.
Well,
That's the sad reality.
I mean, if there was a sign going up on a dump over here, or a sign by the brush pile down there, and it showed a penalty, whatever, people catch other people with their phones or whatever, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem. It's just to warn the people that are doing it that this can happen to you.
Yeah.
That'll be, for some people that will work, and others it
Well,
won't matter, but at
that's
least
all we
we're
can
doing our
try,
due diligence, we're doing what we have
I
to
mean, I
do.
had 3 different people this weekend, with a couple different people that brought the stuff that Owen had to clean up today. They told these people,
Signage is probably a good idea. I mean, it's a starting point.
We have to start somewhere.
Yeah, and with some kind of penalty on there.
Yeah.
And that would come through an ordinance then?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good, and
We'll have-
you'll look at.
We'll have that on
Okay, no problem.
the next agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, John?
no, that was it.
Jim?
I got nothing.
Okay, I have a comment. We're gonna start finding people on this blight ordinances. We've sent letters out. There's gonna be another blight ordinance check, and not everybody's gonna get a letter right off the bat, or the fine right off the bat. It takes time to process those, but we're gonna start looking at catching up on that. We've given the people now plenty of time since our original blight letters, about a month since they've gone
Yeah.
out, Brian, so we are just letting the public know that those will be happening, and that the blight ordinances is for debris in your yard, for the cars that have not up-to-date licenses. It's for those people on corner lots that have to trim their hedges for the safety of the intersection. These are the types of things that we're looking at. These are the types of things that can be fined, and if you received a warning, be prepared to receive a fine. And so that's where we're at with that. Okay, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the school. I really have to thank Johnny and Ryan for showing the building at different times, meeting with people up there. We've met at the city hall several times. We just submitted a grant to look at trying to access some dollars in the bonding bill next year to maybe make the building more ready if we have a partner or somebody who wants to come in. We are screening the people or the groups that are looking at this to make sure that they're responsible and will be liable for this, and will have a viable program. So it's just not that we're gonna just sell the building for $1 and then end up with the aftermath if somebody doesn't take care of it. So we've been doing that. With that, I have nothing else. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Just to add to that, there's a guy coming up Thursday or Sundays, I'm not sure, but from Cloquet that wants to look at the school, and they said I'd be around.
Okay. Thursday or Sunday?
Thursday afternoon or Sunday afternoon.
Let me know if I'm here. I think I'm gonna be in the cities, I'm not sure. Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to adjourn by Stuart, is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.